And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. We appreciate you being here and appreciate your patience. Here where sports meets life, Great Lakes Honda City Studios. You'll find Great Lakes Honda City open Monday through Saturday for sales and service on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. You could go and get a sneak peek of all that they have to offer by going to GreatLakesHondaCity.com. I love my 2025 Honda CR-V. I've been a big fan of the CR-V for many, many years, and from when I was 16 all the way to now, I have only had one other car, and that was the Honda Civic. So I have been with Honda the whole time, and I just really love the CR-V. And the new look CR-V, awesome. Just really, really cool. Unique, fun, exciting. When I go into the parking lot and I see my car, I'm like, that's my baby. So make sure you go out to Great Lakes Honda City today. So you could say that when you go out to the parking lot for your car. New and used vehicles and leasing and buying, all available at Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. With that being said, YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. That's where we're hanging out, up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe. You can also find us on internet streaming radio by going to wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So however you're tuned into the show, thank you so much for being with us here this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We have a jam-packed show here inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. We're going to start off the broadcast as we always do on a Friday with the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Then we'll jump into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. And then at the top of hour number 2, the Top Dog of the Week will come to you, proudly presented by K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare. And we'll round out today's show in studio, where I welcome Jack Szatkowski, who has not been a stranger to this broadcast. He's been here with me before. He played CBA football, and he also has worked with his father at Chick-fil-A Cicero. The Szatkowski family has all been there. Betty, as well as Jimmer, of course, the owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, Jack, Sam, and Hunter. Well, Jack's going to join me in studio today to tell his story, and he is fresh off of an amazing accomplishment, graduating from the U.S. Marine Corps Officer Candidacy School. So he'll be talking with us about that and so much more, and I can't wait to share that with you here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora right around 10 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, and he'll carry us through the final hour. So with that being said, without further ado, it's time to jump into the Annoying Moment of the Week. And this Annoying Moment of the Week, it comes from the notion of when something's not broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, leave it alone. And that thing that ain't broke that we should leave alone, well, apparently, the Syracuse Mets are looking at changing their name. The notion of, I mean, why would you do that? Why would you change your name? You have the connection to your parent team, and you can use the Mets logo, and you got Mets stuff all over the stadium because you can, because you have the right to use it, because you are the Mets AAA farm team. Why would you change the name? And so I looked into this and I thought to myself, okay, well, what does this mean? Now, the first question that people asked when I said that the Syracuse Mets are looking at changing their name, what did they say to me? Did they lose the affiliation? And see, there's a negative connotation that comes with this. That's something you have to look out for. There is a negative connotation that comes with when you change your name. Because more than one person said to me, are they changing their name because they lost their affiliation? That is what the thought is. You don't want to have that negative connotation. Oh, we're changing our name. Oh, why? Because you can't be called the Mets anymore? Did you lose the Mets affiliation? No, they have an affiliation with the Mets until at least 2030. So there's no reason to change the name. And I think that they should keep it the same. Listen, I love going to Syracuse Mets games. I just went to one this week. And I'm going to tell you something. This is my city, right? I've spent most of my life here. Now, I've lived in different states. I've lived in Pennsylvania. I lived in Florida. I've traveled all over the country. I've traveled outside of the country. We've done work everywhere. We've broadcasted from the Bahamas, from Mexico, from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and most recently from Rome and Capri, both in Italy. And I love my home. I love coming home. And I'm going to tell you something. I used to go to MacArthur Stadium with my dad when I was a kid, and I loved going to MacArthur Stadium. I loved seeing the fireworks. I loved hanging out. I still remember, I think, the last fireworks show that I saw there. But, over time, you say, okay, I could go to a game, and then time goes by, and, I should go to a game, and then more time goes by. And then they got the Syracuse Mets affiliation. They got the connection to the Mets, and they changed their name to the Syracuse Mets. Now, I like the Syracuse Chiefs. That was fun. And when they changed to the Syracuse Mets, I said, this is something that would have made sense a million years ago, and it makes sense now. The fact that you're calling yourself the Syracuse Mets, because the Mets are what? Orange and blue. Syracuse is known for what? Syracuse University. What color is Syracuse University? Orange and blue. The Mets are a what? New York team. We are in Syracuse, New York. So it all made perfect, logical, rational sense. So it makes perfect, logical, rational sense to not change that name. If you don't have to, unless the Mets said, we don't want you to be called the Mets anymore. In that case, then okay. And I would say in that case, then tell people. Tell people that that's the situation. Be open and honest about it. Maybe you can't. Maybe they don't want you to. I have no idea. But if it was up to me, I would not be changing my name from the Syracuse Mets to anything else. And if it's a publicity thing to try and get more attention on your team, I think it's going to backfire. Honestly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why? Because Syracuse Mets fans Mets fans, New York Mets fans, go to Syracuse Mets games and they wear their Mets gear. When you buy stuff, I just bought a hat from them, it says Mets on it. I love that. Because then it's like you're supporting the Mets in Syracuse, but you're also supporting the Mets in New York. Yankee fans go there. I feel like it's brought so many more people. In my opinion, I feel like it's brought more eyes and more people to the team than the team would have had. So I don't think they should change it. But in the essence of if they do change it, I decided to be prepared, and I came up with some absolutely ridiculously funny, in my opinion, names for the team that are very pertinent to the times with Syracuse. I know some other people might be doing this, but I came up with these names when I was at the game this week. So here are my thoughts. The Syracuse Mets could change to the Syracuse Construction, because there's a lot of it. They could change themselves to the Syracuse Kigleys, because apparently outside of Lincourt Bakery and the Syracuse area, people don't know what Kigley donuts are, and they're fantastic. And this could put Kigley's on the map. The Syracuse Smog, well, because you know why. So, the Syracuse Bridge Breakers, because most of our bridges are under construction. The Syracuse Roadblocks, because many of our roads are under construction. Or, my favorite, because you can stay orange, the Syracuse Caution Cones. I want to know your thoughts. So, Nolan has the Syracuse Bombers. So, okay, all right. And spelled a little bit different, a little bomb there, B-A-U-M. So, I want to be careful about how I use this. Some of us listen to us on planes. So, I got to be gentle. Bomb, not the other one. B-A-U-M, folks. So, but, yeah. So, my names for the Syracuse Mets, if they're going to change their name, my thoughts are the Syracuse Construction. And he said, shout out to Will and Bomber. Okay, all right. So, we have the Syracuse Construction, the Syracuse Caution Cones, the Syracuse Kigleys, the Syracuse Smog, the Syracuse Roadblocks, and the Syracuse Bridge Breakers. Now, let me tell you what I think is probably going to happen. If I had to put my money somewhere, and I would tell you that they're going to be the Syracuse Salt Potatoes. Why? Because apparently they sold a lot of merchandise. My dad, who typically doesn't go out to games anymore, he's like, I'm going to go over to the stadium and I'm going to go over and get some salt potato stuff. You want anything? So he was excited about it, excited enough to drive over to the stadium and go to the store. And the salt potato thing seems to work. Again, I like the salt potatoes, but I think it's going to backfire if you're not the Syracuse Mets. Because how many teams get to use it, right? When you look at, and let's do this for fun today, okay? And my annoying moment of the week is don't change a good thing. So let's take a look at AAA baseball team names, okay? We're going to look at team names because there's some crazy team names and some awesome team logos, okay? Now, I could just go up and down the list here. We could just do AAA, or I can get wild and we could do some other ones, but there's so many teams, so we're actually going to go through this right now. So I'll start in the AL East, okay? The Baltimore Orioles, AAA, the Norfolk Tides. I can rock with it. AA, Chesapeake Bay Sox. Don't like Sox in the name for the Orioles, but okay. High A, Aberdeen Ironbirds. Sounds like planes. Like it. Sounds like war. Could be different. Single A, Delmarva Shorebirds. Okay. So you got two birds and you got a tide. And then you got a bay. So it all has a connection to the Orioles. Let's go to the Boston Red Sox. AAA, Worcester Red Sox. AA, Portland Sea Dogs. Okay. High A, Greenville Drive. Sounds like a road. Single A, Salem Red Sox. The Yankees, AAA, Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. They used to be the Yankees. I don't know why they let that go. They had and I still remember it. It was the Yankees written out in cursive, and it was like a bat that was almost like a cane with the top hat, with the Yankee hat on top of the bat. It was cool. AA, Somerset Patriots. High A, Hudson Valley Renegades. Single A, Tampa Tarpons. Not Tarpoons, Tarpons. Which is one letter off of being something that would be really bad advertising. Tampa Bay Rays. AAA, Durham Bulls. Okay. And then they have AA, Montgomery Biscuits. It's funny. High A, Bowling Green Hot Rods. Single A, Charleston River Dogs. Toronto Blue Jays. AAA, Buffalo Bisons. Okay. They used to be... So remember, Buffalo used to be with the Mets, or was trying to be with the Mets. Now they have Baltimore. And then we have the AA, New Hampshire Fisher Cats. And then the High A, Vancouver Canadians. And Single A, Dunedin Blue Jays. So Single A has the Blue Jay name. So that's something to look at, something to pay attention to. Right? Dunedin Blue Jays, that they actually have the Jays name. Let's look at the AL Central. Chicago White Sox have the AAA Charlotte Knights, who just came and played Syracuse. AA, Birmingham Barons. High A, Winston-Salem Dash. Okay, so Chicago's really tapping into the North Carolinian market. And Single A, Kannapolis Cannonballers. That's amazing. Cleveland Guardians. AAA, Columbus Clippers, which is just another way to write the C, because the Guardians have a red C, and then AAA has a white C for the Columbus Clippers, and I just said red C, and it made me think of God and parting it and trusting in your faith. This is one of my favorite names, and God bless. One of my favorite names, AA, the Akron Rubber Ducks. And the logo's so cool. I might buy one of those hats. High A, Lake County Captains. Single A, Lynchburg Hillcats. Let's go. Detroit Tigers. AAA, Toledo Mudhens. Love it. AA, Erie Seawolves. High A, West Michigan Whitecaps. Single A, Lakeland Flying Tigers. If only tigers could fly. Kansas City Royals could. Maybe someday. AAA, Kansas City Royals. Omaha Storm Chasers. Relevant. Like it. AA, Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Nice logo. Don't know what the natural means, but okay, I like it. High A, Quad City River Bandits. That's a cool logo. And the Single A, Columbia Fireflies. Kansas City right now, by and large, AAA to Single A, best names that I've read off, in my opinion, up to this point. Minnesota Twins, AAA St. Paul Saints, AA Wichita Wind Surge. Okay, again, Kansas, makes sense. High A Cedar Rapid Colonels, and it's corn being shucked. That's an interesting logo. Single A Fort Myers Mighty Mussels. Mussels meaning the things that are in the ones that the seafood that you eat. Okay. Nolan said, I'm big on paying homage to past teams in Cuse history. The Syracuse Stars were back in the 1890s, Jerry said, so there's something there. Okay, all right. Mom said good morning. Good morning to Deb. So let's get into... I like this because the annoying moment of the week has now provoked me to read off, and I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to go through all of the names, and I want to thank MILB.com for being so, like, they have everything. They have every team, and then underneath the MLB team, they have the logos of all of the affiliates, and they have them broken down by division in each the American and National League. The Oakland A's, or whatever they are now, they don't have a city, but their AAA team is the Las Vegas Aviators. How about? So at least there's something connected to the A's that's connected to Vegas right now. The AA Midland Rockhounds. That's a cool logo. It's a hound with like a chisel over his shoulder. I like that. That's cool. High A Lansing Lugnuts, which has to do with putting things together. I like it. Single A Stockton Ports. Okay. Houston Astros, we have the Houston Astros. I was thinking something. Houston Astros, we have the... I'm not going to say it. AAA, I will. I'll say it eventually. So AAA Sugarland Space Cowboys. I love that. AA Corpus Christi Hooks. High A Asheville Tourists. So I guess there's a lot of tourists that go there. It's a baseball with sunglasses on and a hat. Single A Fayetteville Woodpeckers. And I would like to add another one. The Houston Drummers. Because you know why. The Los Angeles Angels, AAA Salt City Bees. Okay. Salt Lake Bees, pardon me. AA Rocket City Trash Pandas. By far my favorite name so far. That has won the Trash Panda. It was a different look. It kind of looked like Rocket Raccoon. Now, I got to blow this thing up here. The Trash Panda, it's a panda trying to come out of the trash can, but they have some type of like... It looks like they have some type of electronic system on the outside of the trash can and fire underneath it. So they're using the trash can to almost become an Iron Man suit to fly off into space. Interesting. Rocket City Trash Pandas. Oh, because of the Rocket City. I get it. High A Tri-City Dust Devils. That's terrifying because it's dust and the other thing. Single A Inland Empire 66ers. Which is like it looks like the guy from Big League Chew just hitting a bat. Seattle Mariners have the AAA Tacoma Rainers. The AA Arkansas Travelers. Interesting. Tourists, travelers, different things going on here. High A Everett Aqua Sox. It's a tree frog spitting out a baseball. That's fun. And the Single A Modesto Nuts. And it's a peanut with a very, very strange look on their face. I can find people taking that in a place that is not PG. Texas Rangers, AAA Round Rock Express. Okay. AA Frisco Rough Riders. So you got the Rail Riders and the Rough Riders. High A Hub City Spartan Burgers. And so you have a burger running. It looks like a McDonald's logo with a bat. Single A Hickory Crawdads. Those are some crawdaddies. National League, we have the Atlanta Braves. They have the AAA Gwinnett Stripers. AA Columbus Clingstones, which looks like a peach with a piece cut out of it that makes it look like a C. Strange. High A Rome Emperors and Single A Augusta Green Jackets. The Miami Marlins have the AAA Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Let's go. I have a Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp shirt, and I'm proud of it. AA Pensacola Blue Wahoos. That just kind of makes me feel like you should have Matthew McConaughey because You know what I mean? Wahoo! I just feel like they should have that. High A Beloy Sky Carp. What is this logo? It's donned in blue, so it kind of makes it look weird. It looks like a swan that's holding a wrench that's in the winter because they have a red scarf on. Interesting. Or the single A Jupiter Hammerheads. And the Hammerheads, there's a lot going on in this logo. There's a shark with a grin on its face, and there's a lighthouse, and there's also a hook. So there's a lot of things there for the Miami Marlins. The New York Mets have the AAA Syracuse Mets, which it should stay, because it makes sense. And they can use the Mets advertising in the Mets history, and the fact that the Mets are pretty good right now. Hello. AA Binghamton Rumble Ponies. They used to be the Stud Muffins, so to those of you that wonder what a Rumble Pony is, a Stud Muffin was worse. High A, the Brooklyn Cyclones, and the single A St. Lucie Mets. So why would you give it up and just let St. Lucie stay in the Mets? Philadelphia, they should both be it. Philadelphia Phillies, you got the Lehigh Valley AAA Iron Pigs. AA Reading, Fightin' Phils. High A Jersey Shore Blue Claws. I think they should be the Jersey Shore Snookies, and you could have like an orange Oompa Loompa looking thing. I don't know. That's just my thought. Single A Clearwater Threshers. And the Washington Nationals have the AAA Rochester Red Wings. Remember, Washington used to be in Syracuse. Now they're in Rochester. AA Harrisburg Senators. High A Wilmington Blue Rocks. And the single A Fredericksburg Nationals. So they have the Nationals in it too. In the NL Central, the Chicago Cubs have the AAA Iowa Cubs. Makes sense. AA Knoxville Smokies. And they don't have anything with the smoke in the logo. It's just a KS, Knoxville Smokies. The High A South Bend Cubs. Cubs again. And single A Myrtle Beach Pelicans. Which literally looks like a basic pelican. The Iowa Cubs, by the way, use the Cubs' entire logo and then just writes Iowa in cursive on the side of it. On the upper left, I should say. Cincinnati Reds, AAA Louisville Bats. I feel like they should have a bat holding a bat or biting a bat because it's like you can play on words. You can have a bat and a bat, two different bats. It just is LB. So we could change that logo, I think. AA Chattanooga Lookouts. This one's cool. It's just eyes looking out to sea. High A Dayton Dragons, which is a D with a dragon tail. And the single A Daytona Tortugas. I love that. That's good stuff. Milwaukee Brewers, AAA Nashville Sounds. It's just an N. I feel like it should have some type of like speaker or microphone. Maybe I could work with them on that. The AA Biloxi Shuckers. And so you'd think like shucking corn, but it's actually a clam inside of the B, and the B is kind of hugging it. That's kind of different. And then they have the High A Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, which is a snake, and that snake looks very excited to bite you. And then there's the single A Carolina Mudcats, and that Mudcat looks terrifying. Pittsburgh Pirates, we have the AAA Indianapolis Indians, something that's still called the Indians in baseball. The AA Altoona Curve. And I guess it's an angry man who's a train conductor. High A Greensboro Grasshoppers. I like it. The grasshopper looks it looks like he's got a little secret. Looks like he's got something. He knows something about somebody. He's looking at you. He's got something to tell you. Single A Bradenton Marauders. Then you have the St. Louis Cardinals, AAA Memphis Redbirds, the AA Springfield Cardinals, the High A Peoria Chiefs. And this is awesome. Dalmatian with a fire chief hat on. Love that. Firefighter hat. Single A Palm Beach Cardinals, which in Springfield and Palm Beach both look like the Cardinals. They have a cardinal sitting on a bat with the bat going through the letter. The Arizona Diamondbacks have the AAA Reno Aces, and they have the ace sign inside of the A. The AA Amarillo Sod Poodles. I have no idea what it is, but it looks like a poodle coming out of the ground with a hat with a... Well, I do like the fact that they have the cowboy hat. The High A Hillsboro Hops, and I still to this day couldn't describe to you what hops are. I don't really drink. This looks like a vegetable. And the single A Visalia Rawhide. That's interesting. It's just like a V inside of a circle. The Colorado Rockies have a AAA Albuquerque Isotopes. I do like that logo. The AA Hartford Yard Goats. Love the name. High A Spokane Indians, another Indian name. And the Single A Fresno Grizzlies. The Los Angeles Dodgers have the AAA Oklahoma City Comets, OKC, written down, and a comet coming out of the K. Love that. The AA Tulsa Drillers, and so there's a little bit of oil coming off of the T. The High A Great Lakes Loons, and that looks like a bird that looks like a velociraptor. It looks exactly how a raptor would look at you in Jurassic Park movies. And a Single A Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and it's a Q that has lines on the side of it. It looks like it's shaking. That's really cool how they did that. That they could just have a Q with the lines there and you could know that it's the shake. I do like that. I can feel that. Right? How about it? San Diego Padres, love this. The AAA El Paso Chihuahuas. That Chihuahua looks angry but also cool. The AA San Antonio Missions. And it's like Davy Crockett, and then there's a building with a bell and a star. The High A Fort Wayne, I feel like there's a lot to that San Antonio Missions. Fort Wayne Tin Caps, and it's an apple with a tin cap, like you're cooking an apple. That's interesting. And the Single A Lake Elsinore Storm, and it's just eyes in white. Like you don't know what's coming, or you can barely see it. The San Francisco Giants have the AAA Sacramento River Cats, the AA Richmond Flying Squirrels. Fantastic. This flying squirrel, it looks kind of difficult to see. Well, I guess he's flying so fast that it's like the Flash. And then the High A Eugene Emeralds, which looks like Bigfoot if Bigfoot was a tree. And then the Single A San Jose Giants. So that's all of them, folks. That's what we got. You know, I was provoked to tell you all this based on looking at the fact that the Syracuse Mets are allegedly looking to change their name. Now, I want to give you some background on this because I'm going to tell you the story here. Now, this is coming to you from MILB.com, where I just was looking at, or MLB.com, pardon me, where I was just looking at, you know, the connections to the farm system, but now I'm on MLB, not MILB, and it says, Syracuse Mets official post, it says, "We want you to help us forge our new identity. Help us become ingrained with a new name and new identity that is about Syracuse and about Central New York. Submissions for the first phase will be accepted until August 31st, 2025 at midnight Eastern Time." And it says 2027 Rename the Team Community Contest. They're announcing that they plan to drop their name following the 2026 season in favor of something with more local color. They'll be making their choice by fan vote. And it's presented, the Rename the Team Community Contest is presented by VisitSyracuse.com. For the rest of the month of August, fans can submit their original ideas to the team's website, after which they will begin the also fan-led process of narrowing down the list, culminating in the official unveiling of the new team identity in fall 2026. Although rebrands are relatively common in minor league baseball, things have stayed pretty consistent in Syracuse since the team's inauguration season in 1934. Until 2018, they had been known as the Chiefs. From 1997 through 2006, they were officially the Sky Chiefs. A bit of a Rays versus Devil Rays thing, but, I mean, we know they had to change to the Sky Chiefs. And, I mean, I thought the Chiefs were honoring Native Americans, in my opinion. So, but when the Mets purchased the franchise in 2018 with the intent to move their AAA team there in 2019, the team's branding closely mirrored that of the Nationals, with whom it had been affiliated since 2009. And then, obviously, they became Syracuse Mets. So, the rebrand is by committee approach is well loved by minor league baseball teams. It was also the one used by the Mets AA affiliate in Binghamton when they too decided to drop the Mets moniker, and that worked out well for them. They went from the Stud Muffins to the Rumble Ponies. I don't know why that would be a good example, but now listen, I have nothing against the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. I'm just saying, dropping the Mets name to take up Rumble Pony, and in between that to have Stud Muffin, sometimes trusting the community, trusting the fans, is not a great idea, because some people might put things in that they're like joking about Sometimes they remember when people voted for Sanjaya on American Idol because they were trying to mess up American Idol? Sometimes submissions are not the greatest, but popular as it's been, the outside help for a rebrand has never been trendier than it is right now. Recently, over 40 clubs answered an invitation from John Oliver to have the late night host, and his Last Week Tonight writers craft them a new alternate identity. The Erie Seawolves ultimately received the honor and would later suit up as the Moon Mammoths. So that name was, like all the best MILB nicknames, a reference to a bit of local lore. Syracuse is looking at a local connection for a hometown team, but I feel like the Syracuse Mets makes you local. You're in the state of New York. You got a ton of Mets and Yankees fans here. And you got Mets and Yankees fans that go to the game and wear their Mets and Yankees gear. And like I said, covering Major League Baseball and covering teams all over the country, I love having the Mets here. So, in my opinion, the fanfare or the need to get attention might backfire. I think they should stay the Syracuse Mets. Now, I'm all about interesting names and interesting logos. But again, I have bought far more gear and been to far more games in recent history since they became the Mets. And I think it's a great thing to have. Orange and blue city, orange and blue team. I think it is localized. And I think when you drive by the stadium and you see the giant Mets logo, I think that brings more people in than maybe haven't been there before. So in my opinion, sometimes you don't have to change. And, sometimes things are going good, so people feel the need to jump into something else, right? When sometimes what you have is a good thing, right? The grass is not always greener. And I think Syracuse Mets has a nice ring to it, and I think they should keep it. With that being said, we'll take a step aside here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, we'll be back with Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero.
Here's a message from Renee from Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Brian's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily?
And welcome back to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora here inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. It is time to jump in to our second segment on Friday here, and that being Lead. Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. This segment proudly presented by the wonderful team at Chick-fil-A Cicero, owned and operated by Jimmer Szatkowski. Chick-fil-A Cicero is the first ever Chick-fil-A, I should say, that has come to Central New York. The first Chick-fil-A location to be in Central New York, Chick-fil-A Cicero. And they have continued to grow with us over time and get ingrained in our community. And I cannot thank them enough for all that they have been, all that they do, and all that they bring to the table. Chick-fil-A Cicero truly is a special and wonderful place, and that starts with Jimmer Szatkowski. Today's topic inside of Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Don't let distractions be a distraction. Easier said than done, right? We live in a world today where there's so many distractions. There's so many things going on. There's a constant tug of war of all these different things around us trying to get our attention, right? Get our focus. It's easy to be distracted. It is easy to stop paying attention to what's going on and what we need to focus on in our lives. It's easy. You have social media, and not just, so you can't, I mean, when you talk about social media, you break it down into layers, right? You have Facebook, you have X, you have Instagram, you have Snapchat, you have TikTok, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. There's so many different places in social media. Then you have YouTube, right? You have YouTube that you can be watching. And then you can get on Discord. There's all these other things that you can do. There's the websites itself, search engines, looking things up. Constant scrolling, right? Something that you can get locked into for hours upon hours upon hours. So many distractions. I'm just going to check this one thing really quick, and then all of a sudden 3 hours go by. And when you let distractions be a distraction for you, that's something that can ultimately take you away from what God has planned for you. When you allow distractions to run your life, that is when you can miss out on a ton of things. When you are constantly, easily distracted off your course, right? You're not writing that thing you wanted to write. You're not creating that thing you wanted to create. You're not doing the chores that you need to do. You're not getting the things done you need to get done. There's a video, or not a video, there's a picture. It's like a cartoon of this couple. And there's this woman that's laying in bed, and it could be a man or a woman, like either or, interchangeable. But there's a couple in bed, right? So there's this woman laying in bed, and she's laying toward her husband, and her husband is laying with his back to her, looking at his phone. And then she ends up passing away, and so the next picture is him turned toward where she used to be, and she's not there. Don't let distractions be a distraction. When you're out to dinner, out to lunch, put your phone away. I could be better at that. Put your phone away, right? When you're driving in a car, put your phone away. And listen, I'm a culprit of that. I am. Trying to get my work done, trying to get this, trying to get that, trying to make sure I do everything. Do not be distracted when you're driving. Do not be distracted when you're with a loved one. Do not be distracted when you're having dinner. Do not be distracted when you're working on a project. If there's something that you want to do and you got to do it, and you keep telling yourself, oh man, I really wanted to get that done, but I didn't have any time, Did you have time to go on Instagram for 3 hours? On Reels? Did you have time to look up random stuff? Did you have time to talk on the phone? Then you had time to do it. So often in life we say we didn't have time for that. Well, what we're actually saying is we don't value that enough to spend time on it. But the question becomes, what if you died today? What if you died today? 3 hours from now. You got 3 hours. Would you scroll through your phone? Would you sit and look up random things? Would you watch funny videos? Or would you live? I love that people watch and listen to the show. But I also want to live your life. I want you to live your life. You can watch and listen to the show and be meal prepping right now. You can watch and listen to the show and be on a treadmill right now. You could be listening to the show while you're driving your kids to camp. Right? Don't watch because you're driving, but you can listen. Right? You can take me wherever you go, but still do your thing. You could be in the grocery store right now. Got the buds in your ears, listening to me. Hanging out, doing your thing. Right? I love that people watch and listen to the show, but I don't want to take away from what you need to do. Yeah, watch the interview, but don't choose between the interview and your kid. And people would say, Dan, why would you tell somebody to choose something over your show? If it's hanging out with your child, choose your child. If it's being with your grandparents, choose your grandparents. I don't ever want to have a memory where I'm like, oh yeah, I was sitting with my grandmother and I was on my phone. I was sitting with my grandmother and I was texting. I was sitting with my grandmother and I was doing... No. Now, do I have some of those memories? Yeah, I do, unfortunately. But that's not what I want to remember. I want to be there, present with my grandmother. When I'm with her, be with her. When I'm with my mom, be with my mom. When I'm with my dad, be with my dad. My grandfather's growing up, be with my grandfathers. Don't let distractions be a distraction, because that's the devil to me. I'm not saying that the devil is social media, but I'm saying he can use it. Hear me again. I'm not saying that he is social media. I'm saying he can use it. Right? He can get you stuck. He can get you focused. Do you ever go out and you go to a restaurant and you see two people sitting across each other and they're not looking at each other and they're on their phone? I always imagine that they're texting other people that aren't there. And then when they leave that person they just had lunch with, they're texting that person that they could have just talked to face to face. So whoever they're with, they're texting someone else. And then when they're with that person they were texting, they're now texting the person they were just sitting in front of. And so they're never truly with anybody, but they think they're with people because they're texting them, but they're only talking to them when that person's not truly around them, which is so weird, but true, in my opinion. You have to have human interaction, just human conversation. I sat down with my priest this week, and we just talked. And it was such a genuine conversation, and I felt free. I felt like the most like myself in a really long time because he was just being himself. I was being myself, and we were just having a conversation. Nothing will substitute that. Nothing. And you can watch a million videos, or you can create, right? I watch other people's videos. I watch funny stuff. My brothers send me things. I send things to my brothers. But I also want to create them. I also want to make them. Because if I spend my life just looking and scrolling through everybody else's videos, now all of a sudden 3 months went by, I didn't make any videos. Oh my goodness, I didn't create. I can't allow someone else's creation and me enjoying that to stop me from creating. That's what I'm saying. Don't let a distraction be a distraction. Don't let distractions stop you from your path. You have a life to live. I'm not saying don't support other people. I'm not saying don't watch, don't listen, don't read. I'm saying don't stop being yourself. Don't stop creating. Don't stop your story because you're watching somebody else's stories. Okay? Here's a play on words. Don't stare at Instagram stories to the point where you're not making your own story. Not Instagram story, your own story. Right? We're all writing our stories. Do you want your story to be, he scrolled all the time, he never looked at me, he was always on his phone, he never did anything, he sat on the couch? There's nothing wrong with supporting and watching other people and seeing what other people are doing and enjoying their content, right? We like to watch. There's a reason why movies exist. There's a reason why the radio exists. There's a reason why TV exists, right? There's a reason why we can read articles because we like to gain information. But I like being the information. So as much as I'm gaining, I want to be it. As much as I'm watching an NFL game last night, I want to give you NFL content, talk to NFL coaches, talk to NFL players. So just remember to not let a distraction be a distraction, because there's plenty of distractions in our lives today, and it is so easy for us to get caught up and locked in on everything that everybody else is doing. But we have to remember that we have a place in this world, and we're not put on this world to simply watch everybody else. You have something inside of you. We all have creativity, whether you want to believe it or not. We all have creativity. We all have the ability to create something. And you have to really get to know yourself and figure out what that creativity is going to be. So, today, I challenge you to put your phone down for a half an hour. And spend that half an hour either having a conversation with someone, creating something, writing something down, reading something, reading a book, something. I ask you today to take a half an hour to create something. Not even the book. Let's not talk about the book, right? Because I don't want you to pick something up because putting your phone down, picking up a book, right? You're gaining information, but how about take a half an hour today and spend it with somebody else and just get to know them, just talk to them, or just get a pen and a pad and create something yourself. Write down your thoughts, journal. I want you to not be, for a half an hour today, I want you to not be taking in someone else's information. I want you to be creating your own, writing it down, sharing it, talking with somebody else. That is my task for you and I today. 1/2 hour to have a genuine conversation with somebody else, or to just journal and write our thoughts down so that we can get more in tune with ourselves and or get to know somebody else. 1/2 hour today. Sit down with someone or sit down with yourself. And no phone, no TV, no radio, no Alexa, no Google Home, nothing. Just you and a pad or you and a person. Don't let distractions be a distraction. And see what you come up with. I'm excited to hear it. With that being said, we're going to take a step aside here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. That was Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero, where the man is there, Mr. Owner Operator, and my brother, Jimmer Szatkowski. You can go and see him and his incredible team over at Chick-fil-A Cicero. And, of course, you can see his incredible team in our video series monthly, The Light Between Us, on YouTube and Facebook, both.com/wakeupcalldt, where I have the opportunity to speak with his amazing team. With that being said, we'll take a step aside. We'll be back with the top dog of the week and Jack Szatkowski right after this.
Avicoli's restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on into the neighborhood spot Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K-9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K-9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's K9, ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
And welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios. We are back here with you and with Jack Szatkowski. And Jack, I have a surprise for you.
Oh boy.
So it's something that I didn't let you know here, but it's something that we do every single week right after Lead, which is obviously brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero. And that is my dog has now entered the studio. It looks like a ghost. But I would like to honor you as the top dog of the week, which is actually perfect timing because Lily is honoring you as well. Lily came into the room on schedule, right on time to celebrate you as the top dog of the week, probably presented by K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare and K-9 Campground Dog Boarding. And the reason why you're being celebrated as the top dog of the week, not only because you've been someone that I consider a good friend and a caring person in society, but also because you just had a graduation.
Yes, I did.
And from the U.S. Marine Corps Officer Candidacy School.
Yes.
And so I want to honor that, appreciate that, and we wanted to spotlight you today as our top dog of the week.
Thank you very much. I'm honored.
Of course. My pleasure. So let's get into it here. Officer Candidacy School.
Yes.
What does it all have to do with? Why did you choose it, and why the U.S. Marine Corps?
So probably should start with the reasoning behind it first before I actually go into the details of it. So for me, I went through school. I went to the University of Notre Dame, and through the first 2.5 years, 3 years, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Like I had ideas. I had like interests lined up, maybe potential like spots where I could have worked at, but I really never settled, let's say, on any one of those. They never felt right. And I just felt a general call to service. You know me, I'm a very big believer in the Lord. And I really did some discernment about my vocation. I wasn't sure. And the more I found the Armed Forces Department of Defense, the more I enjoyed it. And I knew it was right for me. When it comes to actually Marine Corps, I mean, they're the toughest, they're the best, they're the few and the proud. Maybe I didn't know that initially, but I saw they had the toughest physical requirements, and that was kind of what motivated me to do it. So
Okay.
ended up there.
So like you said, I mean, you going to Notre Dame and trying to figure out like what was going to be the right fit for you. What did Notre Dame and that education and being in that environment, did that do anything to provoke you wanting to be in the world of helping others and being in such a position as the military, as a representation of the United States? Did Notre Dame have a place in that?
Maybe not intentionally. Like, it's not like that. There was never like anything like they're specifically motivating me. But the whole mentality of the school is, because I mean it's a prestigious institution. You go there and you do good for the world after you leave there.
Yeah.
It's not like they're. I mean, being a byproduct of being a great school, there's a lot of people that get great jobs after, but that's not their mission and their purpose. They're meant to develop young adults to become the highest of character members of society once they leave. So I wouldn't say like there was ever like a direct like, oh, go to the military after, but there is definitely that kind of higher purpose and calling in life when you leave school.
Okay. So when you had that higher calling and that purpose, like you said, the more that you got involved with military pieces of it, the more you kind of liked it. How did you initially get involved in that world?
I sent off an email to my local officer selection officer.
Okay.
Yeah. There was no, like, one of my buddies who did OCS last year, like, I had an idea of what it was like. And he actually, at this next step, I'll meet him there out in Quantico in about a couple of weeks. But, I mean, there's no real fun story to it. I literally just sent off an email and went from there. But it was probably the best email I've ever sent. Most important email I've ever sent.
And something inside of you just called you to...
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to chalk it up except for some divine calling more than anything. The more I looked into it, the more I invested myself in it. Unlike other jobs I was looking at, I got more attracted to it, and it felt right. Which was not what I had with other experiences when I was looking for jobs. Everything was maybe not so much pushing me away, but it just never felt right. It felt like the puzzle like just kind of fit right in.
So for you, like you said, it was just some divine piece. Because I was wondering that. I mean, I talk with your dad all the time. I consider him a brother. And when he spoke with me about you, it was, Jack's going out. And you and I talked about it. You're going out to this school that's right across the road from Notre Dame. We're going to play some football.
Yeah.
We're going to try and make this Notre Dame football team. We're going to work out. And then it's okay, here's the next year. Maybe we're going to do this again. And then it was, hey, did you know that Jack is going in to the military world? Did you know that Jack is now, connected to the U.S. Marine Corps? And I just thought to myself, I'm like, how? I wasn't surprised, but I was trying to figure out how that road kind of happened for you. But like you said, I mean, there was some divine leadership in that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. I even wonder like how I got there sometimes, but now I'm here and I go back down to Quantico on Monday, so it happened.
Like you said, going to Quantico. Quantico is a name that we hear, and I mean there was a TV show that used to be called Quantico. So I mean, that name obviously holds some weight. It's a name that even if you know nothing about when it comes to the U.S. Marine Corps and so on and so forth, people know what Quantico is. So you physically going there and it being a part of your story, your life, what does that feel like that you're going to Quantico?
It's pretty cool because I watched that show growing up. Obviously, the show's about the FBI, which there is the FBI training academy at Marine Corps base Quantico. I mean, we never see them, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we're two separate entities, but it is pretty fun to say that. But I'll only be there for the next 6 months, and then when I graduate, it's called TBS, the basic school. Then I'll get whatever my MOS is, my military occupational specialty, and I get stationed wherever I get stationed.
And so going there after watching the TV show, do you have any thoughts in your brain? Is there anything that like you're like, man, I hope this is the same, or I hope that there's some type of similarity with something?
Yeah, I mean, like, as cool as it's, I mean, it would be cool if it was like that, but there, I mean, it won't be. I mean, it's two very different kinds of schools that I'll be at versus what they're at that school. As cool as it sounds in theory.
What has mom and dad said about this? Because obviously they love you, and a parent always wants their child to be safe and in the best hands they could possibly be. What's the conversation been like with Betty and Jimmer?
Fully supporting. There was never a point where they weren't. Definitely a curveball at first to them. They're like, so where, why? And I was like, I don't know, it just felt right. But my mom's definitely a mom about it, nervous. But they're very proud. So, I mean, the more I tell them about it, the more they think it's, for lack of a better term, badass. Which I think it is kind of too. It's been really fun. But yeah, they're fully supportive and they're very happy for me.
For you to be protecting others and helping others, does any of that come from seeing everything that your dad's had on his journey?
For sure, just the general impact that he has on people, like the influence he has in their lives, where he is how do I put it? Like a vehicle of the Lord, where he's serving others. Yeah, that definitely impacts me. It makes me want to do good like that in the world. Obviously, I'm doing it in a different way, but 100%.
What is a Marine to you?
I mean, the few and the proud. That's how they put it. Someone that would lay their life down for their country, for the person to the right or left, or the people at home.
And for you, did you grow up that way? Did you grow up like if you saw someone get made fun of on a playground, you wanted to go over there and help them, you went over there and did something? Like, are you that person that couldn't just stand by?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I had much experience with like bullies around me. I guess maybe I'm lucky for that. I mean, yeah, if someone was getting their ass kicked on a playground, I would step in for sure. But I feel like that's what we're all called to do.
And so for you, knowing that, this could be on any scale, do you ever think about, where is this going to take me? Where is my life going to be? I mean, your home is not necessarily your choice, right? I mean, They could send you wherever they want to send you. Are you open to getting a phone call or an email saying this is where we need you for the next X amount of time?
100%. That's why I signed my name on the contract. I knew what I was signing myself up for. I mean, that's also in the future. Like, I'll play it by ear. Wherever I am now, and just kind of stay in the present's pretty important. I think just looking that far in the future, because it wouldn't happen for, say, a year. I mean, take the time that I have now. You've
been in and out of here, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes, because you and we used to see each other a lot.
Yep.
And then I didn't see you for a while. And then we ended up in the same place when we were at the college football playoff national championship between Ohio State and Notre Dame. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. But I do want to say this, because you and I met when you were trying to think of how old you were at the time. But it was I think it was pre-CBA that you had I think it was your family had just come in.
Okay.
And so you were the first of the children that I met, because I met you, and then Hunter and I connected on social media. Sam wasn't living here at the time. Then I met Sam after. Mm-hmm. And, we built a relationship, and I've looked at you like a little brother. Mm-hmm. And then I haven't really seen you a lot over time. So what can you say to kind of our bond and our journey? Because from my point of view, I've always looked at you as family, and I've always looked at you as somebody that I want to take care of. Now I'm looking at you going man, here's this guy in the Marine Corps, and he's trying to take care of the world, and I am not surprised, and I give you all the love and credit for that. Mm-hmm. But just what our bond's been over time, because honestly, beyond everything else, and on and off the air, it's the same human being. Mm-hmm. I've missed you. Yeah. I've missed actually getting to see you.
I mean, the way I see it with our relationship, at least, I mean, time spent together is important, but like that's not how you judge relationships.
Yeah.
It's if that's how you judge relationships, no one. I mean, when you become an adult, you wouldn't. The only person you'd love then, in theory, is your direct family that lives in your house. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's how it is with like even my family at home now. Because when I go to school, like I don't see them. Like,
Yeah.
it's tough, but it's not like a bond is weakened over time apart from each other. It's still it's like riding a bike. When I get back here, I see you, I give you a big hug. I'm happy to see you. It's a blessing to see you. And honestly, there's something to be said for not having the time they're able to spend with someone like every single day. It makes seeing them so much more special. You appreciate it more.
And I think and I appreciate that. I think when I saw you, one of the years you had come home from school, I didn't register that it was you because you got so much bigger.
Yeah.
And I said something to your dad. I go, "That's not Jack outside."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, that's Jack." I was like, "I don't think it is."
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I mean, you have developed over time. Was that? I mean, obviously you played football at CBA and then you were looking to play football at Notre Dame. Did it kind of just help you in transition to the Marine Corps to be like, well, I'm already training, I'm already doing all these things, I'm already asking all these things in my body.
Yeah.
So this isn't like foreign to me now.
Yeah. It's definitely a different kind of shape that I'm in now. At OCS, I probably lost about 25 pounds. But just like already having the natural innate ability to know when I'm in like a physical setting to be able to train like that for sure. But it's definitely a very different shape that I'm in now. I during football training, I was never running 4 miles for fun as like a warm up for a workout, but now I do that. So it's fun though.
Because I mean, like you said, I mean, there's training and then there's this different type of training.
Mm-hmm.
Was there something in the training for the U.S. Marine Corps and being at this Officer Candidacy School? Was there something that you felt like, wow, like this is the most difficult thing I've ever been asked to do?
Absolutely. And even when if it's not the most difficult thing in the world or that you've gone through, they don't want that. They want it to be the most difficult. They want to test you. They want you. The whole point of it is to be in a constant state of being uncomfortable and testing you against that for 10 weeks. The 10 weeks isn't because they need to do 10 weeks of testing and all that. It's to keep that state of uncomfort or that state of you not enjoying it for 10 weeks and just testing you mentally.
Well, you always I look at the rule of 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at this, when you say 10 weeks and you break that down, you're looking at over 2 months going into 3 months time, right? Almost 12 weeks. And I feel like the U.S. Marine Corps, as well as anybody else, understands that on any level, big or small, people will show you who they are within like a 90-day period or close to a 90-day period. So like you said, they want to see if they can break you.
Yeah.
Did you have any moments where you felt like they almost broke you?
No. I wouldn't say like they really almost broke me. There was the way that I described it to my family is nothing that you wake up and do is like, oh, I can't do this. It's just being able to overcome the fatigue and having the mental fortitude to do it. Because once you're there, it's like, oh, I can do this, but it's just getting there that makes it so tough.
So, I mean, essentially what you're saying is people are prisoners to what their mind believes.
And that's exactly what, I mean, that's what they want you to find out there too. Also like to preface with, I have been a commissioned officer for 6 days. It'll be probably the easiest thing I do in the Marine Corps. I have no real knowledge and I'm not going to act like I do. Like the instructors are saying there, that will be the easiest thing I have to do in the Marine Corps, and I fully believe it. But it was so tough because you have to learn so much about yourself and about your ability there.
But when it comes to the mind, mental toughness, mental fortitude, mental strength, mental health, we focus on the mind. I'm happy that your generation has people that are focusing on mental health. My generation, which was not that far removed, but my generation did not. My generation was, if you're getting bullied, stop being a wimp. You know, don't. Actually, they would say to guys all the time, if guys showed emotion, they would say, don't be a girl. So there was a negative connotation toward women. There was this like, you can't be weak. You can't have a tough moment. Your mind doesn't matter. It's all about brute strength. And there was really no focus on mentally when somebody was drained. So what can you say to the importance of mental health, mental fortitude, and mental toughness, having gone through everything you've gone through?
The way I see it is your body is the car, but your brain or your mental health is the gas that runs the car. You can't be running on empty or else you're going to sputter out. So, I mean, that at the end of the day comes first. But you also have to realize you're not going to wake up every day and be at 100%. If that were the case, everyone would be perfect. Like, there's going to be days where you're operating at 60%, or you wake up, you're tired, you wake up, you don't want to do it. You had something that happened yesterday, but the whole point is just to keep pushing through. And it'll make it so much more rewarding when you get through whatever that task may be, whatever the challenge may be.
What you've been through up to this point, do you feel like you have, like, almost in a way tapped into more of your brain, more of your mind? Do you feel like it's more open now?
I'd say I have more control over it. I don't feel like I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say like I understand it more, and maybe there are parts that I maybe haven't accessed as much. Like I can like now just zone out, go through the motions, and be like a robot, get orders from whoever the instructor was, and just do it, and not even have to think about it. Like I have more control over it, but I wouldn't say I have accessed more. It's just like mastering what I have more so. But again, it's only been 10 weeks. I'm in no way an experienced Marine Corps officer like that. I want to get there one day, but that's still a while away.
Taking orders from a Chick-fil-A guest versus taking orders from an officer in the U.S. Marine Corps.
I don't get screamed at by the Chick-fil-A guests, but the instructors will for 10 weeks straight.
How do you respond to that? I mean, is that something that how does one not break when getting screamed at? And like you have, there's a comedian that'll stand on stage and they'll have a heckler. You have a heckler right in your face.
Yes.
How do you break through that? Because a lot of people, I feel like, would run from that.
Yeah, so the first 4 weeks, it's called transition phase. And that is them truly screaming in your face for all 16 hours of your waking day. And then it becomes second nature for the next 6 weeks. But the whole point for that first 4 weeks is for you to fail, for you to break, let's say. But you don't really break. You just mess up a little bit. They yell at you and you snap right back into it. But those first 4 weeks is where they really will burn it into your mind. And then for the next 6 weeks, again, just second nature. You don't have to think about it anymore. You can just zone out, like I was saying.
If someone were to yell at you right now, does it even faze you?
Yeah. Well, what are they yelling at me about, I guess?
Let's say they're just trying to pick on you. They're trying to like get under your skin. Somebody just you cut. Let's say somebody thinks you took their parking spot, so a total stranger gets out of their car and they run up to you and start screaming.
I'd be able to keep a normal volume, just have a conversation. If they want to keep yelling, they keep yelling. That's not energy that I want to expend.
Have you always been a calm person, or do you feel like you've become calmer?
I at least like through football, I was calm until I didn't want to be.
Right.
I was able to just like flip the switch, but I think for the most part, I'm outgoing but calm. Like I'm never like jumping off the walls, I don't think. But again, like with the past 10 weeks, being able to control my mind more and be able to like I can turn on the energy when I need to and keep it down when I need to as well.
It sounds like you're working on mastering the art of being in control of yourself as opposed to yourself being in control of you. When people talk about your mind controls you or you control your mind, you tell your body what to do or your body says, hey, I can't do this. Working through that, what would you say to someone watching and listening that feels like they're not in control, that they feel like my body tells me what I'm going to do, my head tells me what I'm going to do, I feel like I'm trapped like a prisoner in my own skin? What would you say to someone having gone through what you've gone through?
This is going to be like a cliche. There's a series of books that I've been reading. The one that I'm currently reading is called Discipline is Destiny. Right now I can't think of the author's name off the top of my head, but it's probably... I read it during my time there because it would help me be able to control myself more. Just like go out and read something. Go out and like, if you want to get better at that, commit yourself to do it.
Yeah.
It's, you don't have to go through 10 weeks of getting screamed at to learn it when you have like the resources around you. I'll see if I can find the book's Discipline is Destiny. Highly recommend it. I need to remember the author's name. That's going to bother me.
And there's also a book that's been trending out there with a lot of people called Let Them. Like don't. I mean, you can't control other people, so just kind of let them be who they are and be who you are. You and I haven't spoken about this really at all, but, you know, I mean, obviously I wear my Jimmer Strong proudly. He became a friend and then quickly became a brother, and I consider him family now. And I've considered you all family for a while. When I see your dad, I don't see anything else. I don't see the disease. I don't see disease, then Jimmer. I see Jimmer just ad-libbing, working through something. And I had a conversation with somebody that I didn't want to have last year where they wanted to focus on the negative and focus on this and that. And I was upset. I felt like he was disrespected to the point where I felt disrespected. Yeah. Where I tell my mom all the time, she always goes, how's Jimmer doing? How's he doing? I said, he's more tan than I am, which always makes me mad. And his smile is the same. And I have talked with him so much with him moving his lips that the last time I sat down with your dad, I'm actually going to see him today, but the last time I sat down with him, I thought I heard his voice and I totally forgot that I didn't. Yeah. Because I've gotten used to it.
Totally.
So you seeing your dad go through all of this, I don't think it defines him. And I tell people this all the time. I see Jimmer in every time I interact with him. I know there's good days, I know there's bad days, I know there's ups and downs with everyone in life, regardless of what's going on. But how do you see your dad, and how have you seen him on this journey through your eyes?
The way I see it, it's like he's just like walking through a thunderstorm, just like patient, calm, not letting outside situations affect him emotionally, mentally. He just doesn't, I mean, if it doesn't have to affect him in a way, he doesn't let it affect him, which I think is pretty damn cool. He's actively choosing to not let it beat him, which I think is something that most people don't have the mental fortitude to do. So I think it's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, I remember when he told me, I was at Hollywood Studios and I walked, I didn't even know, I used to be a cast member. I didn't know if I was allowed to be back where I was, but I went beyond these like bushes and I sat with him and he said, and I'd never heard your dad swear. And he said, I'm not going to let this effing beat me. And I never forgot that he said that. And sitting with him, I think one of the things I love the most, and I was talking about don't let distractions be a distraction, is that when you sit with him and you put your hand on his left hand and he'll like grab you with his thumb and like little things like that. So how have you and your dad grown your bond over these last few years? Like how have you gotten closer to him? Because I feel like as good as I thought he was as a man, I feel like Jimmer's evolved.
Yeah, totally.
How have you evolved together?
Well, it's a weird or interesting situation where I've over the past 4 years have become an adult. So I'm just even if he didn't have ALS for the past 4 years, my relationship would have evolved anyway, becoming a young adult. So it's just I couldn't tell you how it became different because it would have changed anyway.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole point of life, is change is good. That's evolution. You want to further yourself, in whatever way that may be. So I guess there is no like way that I would ever foresee it differently, because if I were to think like, what's the point in thinking of, oh, how would it be different had he not been sick? Because guess what? That's not reality.
Yeah.
So I don't ever think about how it's different. I just appreciate what I have, and it's awesome.
Well, I don't. And like I said, I was like, I don't see a different Jimmer.
Exactly. Like he isn't different.
I think he's a bigger Bills fan now.
Totally.
I think he becomes a bigger Bills fan every day.
Yeah. 100%.
And you and I were supposed to actually sit down a couple days ago, and you said, well, my family planned a vacation. And then I went on social media. It was Bills camp. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, we went to Bills training camp on Wednesday. I was supposed to be here Wednesday. So I was like, oh, unfortunately, we're going to Bills training camp. I was like, yeah, okay.
So all I have to say to Betty is, if you knew that your son was supposed to be here, why wasn't I invited to go there? So how was Bills camp?
It was awesome. They look great. A bit more because I didn't have my phone for the past 10 weeks. I wasn't really caught up on the sports world all that much.
Yeah.
So there's a few more injuries than I realized we had, which I wasn't a fan of.
Like Shakir.
I didn't realize Tyler Bass was hurt. That's not good. But it was a blast. We were right on like the field level. The players are always running by. And after practice, it gets a bit more like personal, where like the quarterbacks and like the tight ends receivers come down to the end zone, like where we were, and they practice their routes. So you just get 30 minutes of really like close up stuff, and it's pretty awesome.
Your brother Hunter had attempted in the past to steal Josh Allen's girlfriend. He now obviously is with Haley Steinfeld.
Yes.
Has your brother chosen any other players' girlfriends to chase after?
No, but I don't know how. He recognized Dawson Knox's fiance when they're like on the side. And I was like, how did you recognize her? He was like, oh, I just know. I'm like, that's ridiculous. But yeah, he was able to point her out. Wouldn't say he tried to steal her, but he definitely still recognizes all of them and knows who they are, which most people, it's like impressive, like, oh, you know the faces of every player on the team. Well, he knows the faces of every single player's wife on the team, which is a bit of a crazy extension from that.
Is that how has Hunter always tried to be a ladies' man?
Oh yeah. Ever since he was young, for sure, no doubt.
What is something about Hunter that we should know? As I get to know him. And him and I we built a bond differently than yours, because you and I were face to face. Him and I were like social media. He would follow stuff, and now we talk. Yeah. So if you could say anything, like if somebody came up to you and said, describe your brother in a sentence, who's Hunter? He's a good tennis player, I hear.
Great tennis player. He's a great poker player. That dude has gotten into poker over the past like year, and he's damn good now. Like, we were at my graduation, and my brother comes up to me on Sunday. He's like, Mom thinks I have a problem. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, I was watching like professional poker in bed, and Mom saw it and was like, oh my gosh, you have a gambling issue. Joking, obviously. But yeah, he's so intelligent. Like, he would like he loves video games, but like he likes like games like Pokemon. He likes the strategy. Like he's smarter than me, which I don't like.
Okay. What about Sam? Obviously, hearing about you guys growing up, Jimmer would talk to me about how she would try to get under your skin.
Yes.
If someone asked you, who is Sam Szatkowski, what would you say?
I went through 10 weeks of self-discipline, but she would still be able to piss me off very quickly and get me out of like my.
So what you're saying is Sam should have been an officer in your training.
100%. She if I were able to master that part of my mind, I'd feel unstoppable. But unfortunately, I can't do that yet.
Why does she get under your skin?
I don't know. She's just really good at it. I mean, I think 22 years of her being able to do it. I mean, she just knows what to do in every single situation to optimize me being pissed off.
So the two of you, who, if it's like a battle back and forth of who can get the other person's goat, so to speak, more, can you get her?
It never gets that bad because our parents will intervene. They'll be like, all right, you guys are grown adults. Like, figure it out. It'll be like Christmas when we're all together at the house. You're like, you guys are 22 and 25. Like, come on.
What is it about, like, is it just out of nowhere? Is it nitpicking? Is it just going, oh, that's a nice sweatshirt, it's got a hole in it?
It's the one line that kind of, like we're joking back and forth all the time. There's the one line where they're like, did they step over the line there? And then the next person does it, which pisses the other one off more, and it's just a spiral from there.
Of the three of you and Hunter and Sam, funniest, most serious, and the first one to, like, be like the emotional, like the Care Bear, the hug. So funny, serious, hug. If you had to choose one for each of you, and you can only be one of those things.
Funny, Hunter, serious me, Care Bear Sam for sure. Because she's older, she's protective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having her back in this, I know you've been gone, but having her, like, here when you do come home, like that everybody's in the same place. What's that dynamic been like that everyone's been able to spend time together?
It's awesome. Having the whole family together is great. I've been spoiled to have that, where I don't have to make a trip to see my sister where if I were to come home from school. Just having the whole family together is super nice, especially considering the situation with my family. Yeah, it's just, it hits a bit better when I get to come home for breaks and I see every single member of my family. It's a lot more comforting, for sure.
First thing you do when you come home, like when you came home from Candidacy School, what did you do?
Well, I was too exhausted to do it, but you got to go to Copper Top and get the buffalo mac and cheese. The stuff's so good. It's my favorite. I'm actually getting it later today.
It's funny because when I had lunch with I think the only time that I've had food with your father, not at Chick-fil-A, like not like meeting there, was at Copper Top.
Yeah. I love Copper Top. It's like my go-to spot back here. Whenever I come home, I always got to get Copper Top.
If you could create a Chick-fil-A thing that doesn't exist.
Like a menu item?
Yes. Because I know that with you working there, you probably felt at least enticed to mix things up.
Totally.
So what would you do?
If we do like a chicken mac and cheese, that would for sure be my number one.
Okay.
Be really good. If it was like you could just have a meal, like a pasta dish like that, it'd be awesome.
A chicken mac and cheese?
Yeah, totally.
Right. I like that. A little bit of barbecue I'd probably put on it too.
Yeah, totally.
Now, I think I talked with you about this, and I think that I'm like I'm wearing Jimmer and Betty down finally. But the peppermint chip shake, I used to tell you that when it was no longer on sale, that I knew there was some left, and that you should open the back door and let me in. Who do you think will give me the peppermint chip shake remainders first? You, your mom, or your dad? Like this year, if I came to get it, like in January, who do you think would open the back door and let me take the rest of it?
My mom, for sure.
Okay.
She's generous. She'd be like, oh yeah, we can figure that out.
How would you describe Betty? Because I've gotten to know your... Like, when I got to know your dad, I got to know him, just him and I. And then I got to know Betty kind of like well after, but now I spend time with your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your mom to someone who doesn't know her? Also, I know your dad's a Bills fan, but I feel like your mom would like... I feel like she would cut someone.
100%. No,
like she's sweet, but she is also mama bear is what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Like she is a protective, I just feel like she's a powerful woman.
Yeah.
How would you describe mom?
I mean, you said it, the mama bear. I mean, I am bigger than her, stronger than her, but if someone were to mess with me, she would step in and try and handle it for me. I mean, yeah, she loves more intensely than anyone I know. I mean, yeah, she's just a protector. like, as stupid as this is going to sound, she's just mom. Like, I don't know if that even makes sense. It sounds really dumb when I say it out loud, but like, I'm 22 years old, but I'll still be the 5-year-old, and she's still my mom.
Well, and and I have a mom like that too. Mm-hmm. Like I just had dinner with my mom, and every time I sit across from her, I feel like I'm like 5.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not that I am not mature,
mm-hmm.
but that like she has always made me feel the same, no matter how old I am.
Totally.
And like that's what you're describing with your mom.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, watching a Bills game, I've done it with your mom, your dad, Hunter, Sam, but you and I haven't watched the Bills game.
Yeah.
So, if it was you and me watching a Bills game in my theater room, hanging out,
mm-hmm.
how should I prepare myself for how you watch a Bills game?
So if you've been with my dad and you've been with my brother, I'm basically a blend of those two, where Hunter's super emotional,
mm-hmm.
my dad's super calm and reserved. I'm like super calm and reserved until either it's a really like crunch time play or something sick happens. And then out of nowhere, I'll just jump up and start screaming and running around. But for the most part, like I'm 95% calm, 5% emotional outburst.
So you're 95% Jim or 5% Hunter?
Yes. Yes.
Watching the last game that we watched, so when they play the Chiefs in the postseason, and they're so good against the Chiefs in the regular season.
It's ridiculous.
But so awful against the Chiefs in the postseason. And I honestly think that they shouldn't play the Chiefs in the regular season, because I think Andy Reid does it so he can see everything.
100%.
Your dad, like you said, calm, but pointed.
Yes.
When that game was coming to the closing minute, and then as soon as it ended, he was dead serious.
Mm-hmm.
And your mom looked at the room, and she looked at me, and she goes, "It's time for Jimmer to go to bed."
Yeah.
It was just a very silent,
solemn,
like, we're done here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
Is there any family that you've witnessed that is so deeply ingrained to the Buffalo Bills that it feels like they're part of the management team, which I consider the Szatkowskis to be part of the ownership group?
Yeah.
Is there any other family like that you've met?
My extended family.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't just stop with our direct family when it comes to the Bridges and the Szatkowskis. When it comes to Bills fanship, that's why it's not great when our extended family gets together for games, because it will impact the entire morale of whatever the vacation or get together is, should they win or lose.
So do you have to like plan a game at the end of the vacation so you can enjoy the whole vacation, and then no matter what happens?
Totally.
Like you can't have Sunday.
Well, if we lose a game on Sunday, the next 3 days that's all we're gonna be talking about. And for my mom's sake, she'd be like, "All right, we can't do this. We got to get over it." But like, even she wouldn't be able to get over it. The Bills lost. It would be awful.
Yeah. So you can't go to Disney on a Sunday.
No, absolutely not.
You have to go to Disney like Monday through Saturday,
yes,
and then leave on Sunday.
Yeah, and the odds are we're probably flying back to go to the game too. So
yeah. How many games have you been to
in my life?
Yeah.
I make it to, well, when I was young, we'd make it to probably one a year, because we were living in Raleigh. When we moved up here, we had the season tickets. We were going for almost every single home game. When I went to college, I'd probably make it to 2 or 3 a year. Probably just under 50. No, probably a bit less than that.
Okay.
My brother is hitting higher numbers than me, though, for sure, because he's able to go to like every single one.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't miss it. I feel like he's throwing passes to Josh Allen. Like, I don't think he misses anything.
No. Yeah.
Do you have like a starstruck moment with the Bills for you?
Yes, but it's also getting to the point where like I'm seeing the players like get drafted, and I'm like 2 years older than them now, and I'm like, oof, that's not fun.
I'll try living in my world.
Yeah.
So, is there someone that like got you though? Someone that like came up and you shook their hand and you're like, oh my gosh.
It was 2 years ago. Khalil Shakir.
I'm making you tired on Wake Up Call. I'm kidding. No, this man is trained.
I'm still catching up on sleep from the past.
You just got home
weeks.
Recently, right?
Yeah. I got back on Sunday.
Yeah, like you haven't even been home a full week.
No.
I feel like if I were you, like you just hibernate right now.
That's what I'm leaving here and I'm going right back to hibernation because I'm going to Buffalo tonight to see some family. So I'm going to try and nap for about 5 hours.
That's smart. So while I'm at Chick-fil-A with your parents, you will be sleeping.
Most likely, yeah. I have to bring my brother I have to run one errand, bring my brother to like SAT prep later, but that's it. And outside of that, I'm asleep.
Okay. So your starstruck moment that we were talking about.
Khalil Shakir. I think he's such a stand-up dude. He's like exactly how when I played receiver in high school wanted to play it. And he like came up to me 2 years ago and like dapped me up. I got a photo with him. I think he's an awesome guy. I think he's super cool.
I think that's, again, God's just the way he is. I got an autograph of a Buffalo Bills player on a card. And when I got it, I thought to myself, well, this is going to Jimmer.
Yeah.
So I brought it home. And I thought about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to give it to him. So I left it on my table and I brought it to him. And it was Khalil Shakir.
That's sick.
I just handed it to him and I saw his eyes. Now, I will say this about your dad. Of anything that I've ever given him, and I always try to give him Bill stuff, but of anything that I've ever given him, my mom got him a snow globe of the stadium.
That's, yeah.
The way that he lit up.
It's pretty sweet.
I was like, I'm really happy that you like it. But I don't like that you like it more than what I've bought you.
I think that comes out like every Christmas. It's on like our family room table.
Yeah, like because Betty was saying she's like it's right at one point. She's like it's right next to the bed. He looks at it, and I was like, I'm happy he likes it, but I'm not happy that my
it tops
gifts
everything else.
Yeah, that my gifts. I was like, I feel like I've gotten some things that should rival it, but they haven't yet. Mm-hmm. So because he'll always look at me, how's your mom? How's your mom? How's your mom and dad? But he asks about my mom a lot.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
But yeah, so that's apparently one of his favorite gifts, which is fine, Jimmer. I'll deal with it. So if you could put together a Bills team right now.
Okay.
And you can keep Josh Allen because that's sacred to people. Mm-hmm. But you can get any running back, any 2 wide receivers, and any tight end. Mm-hmm. From other teams.
Yeah.
Who would you bring on the team? It's Josh Allen, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. What Bills team would you create right now?
Running back Jahmyr Gibbs. He's so awesome. I think he's so good.
Okay.
Tight end Brock Bowers. He's up and coming. If you've watched his Georgia highlights, he's just a freak athlete. For a tight end, too.
I became a big fan of him when he was there.
He's awesome. And then receivers, where it gets tough, because you want to get like your one tall guy, your one like slot guy, let's say. I'd probably honestly just Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. They would be they were an elite combo in college, which is crazy they played college together. To have those two would be pretty sweet, though.
I asked Tim Lester, who was working with the Green Bay Packers and used to be at Syracuse and is now with Iowa. I asked him yesterday on the show what 2 receivers, and he said Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
They're incredible.
So I play fantasy football every year, and I run it. I've run it for many, many years. I drafted Justin Jefferson, and when the snake draft came back around to me, for some odd reason,
Jamar Chase.
I got Jamar Chase.
That's awesome.
How is that possible?
I think last year he was injured. I think Jamar Chase is injured entering training camp, so that is the only maybe
that
potential
was
reason. But I don't know. Regardless, that's awesome. That's a pretty sweet roster because they were killers. Actually, wasn't Justin Jefferson a bit hurt last year? At times?
He got hurt during the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
during the season he did. But you picked all guys that I love. Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's so good.
I think Detroit arguably has the best backfield because they have Montgomery and Gibbs.
Yep.
And both of the guys can get double-digit touchdowns. Both of the guys can get around 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people can say that. They have a great offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something to be said to that. If the Bills were to make the Super Bowl this year, who do you think is going to be on the other side?
Are we just like imagining everyone, the entirety of the NFL stays healthy, like in a perfect world?
In a perfect, healthy world, because as they say in the NFL, all the time when they get to the postseason.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the better team; it's the healthier team.
Exactly. In a perfect world, I don't see anyone beating the Eagles again.
Okay. Not even the Commanders?
Yeah, I think you're gonna I love Jaden Daniels. I think he's a great quarterback, but you're gonna have the year 2 slump that every other quarterback has.
Okay.
NFL defenses will adjust to him a little bit. I think he's still gonna be awesome. I don't want to say he had a little bit of beginner's luck, but his defense did force 5 turnovers in their game against the Lions in the divisional round, and then they got crushed by the Eagles. The Eagles definitely. Trying to think of other teams that could be good.
It's hard now.
Yeah,
because I don't feel like the NFC really has a lot outside of Washington
super
and Philly.
top heavy.
Yeah.
The Lions, obviously,
And the Lions, yeah.
But then I see Jared Goff, and I'm like, is he really that good of a can Jared Goff win a Super Bowl? Probably them. I also think the Packers are sneaky super good.
Okay. All right.
But I don't see them making it past the Eagles, at least.
The Bills have had now, 4 years of the hope that they'll get there?
Yeah.
If you weren't a Bills fan and you were looking from the outside, why do you believe that maybe this year would be the year?
It's Josh Allen. At any moment, he can just turn it on, light you up. So, it's actually, he's, outside of Mahomes, the most, electric, football player I think I've ever watched, and how he, how he leads, how he impacts the energy of his teammates, how he's just physically better than everyone else. Yeah, it's Josh Allen.
If you were a receiver for the Bills, how many touchdowns would you have from Josh Allen?
I don't know. I'd like to think 1. Depends on how good those guys guarding me are. I think I could get 1 just because Josh would throw a perfect ball and I'd be able to catch it. I wouldn't be getting too open against those NFL DBs, though.
Now, when you came to CBA, you got asked to play defense.
Yeah, I played both ways.
And so you came in a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You and I talked about how it was hard to leave your school down in
Totally.
North Carolina. And when you came here and played at CBA, I remember standing with your dad on the fence at West Jenny, and big loss to West Jenny. The only score on the board was a Jack Szatkowski interception return for a touchdown.
Yes.
Which I said to your dad, I was like, hey, even though they lost, at least you had the moment.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what can you say to going back to that? Number 1, going back to that moment for you, and then number 2, how Christian Brothers Academy has now won 3 state titles.
Pretty awesome.
In the last 4 years, 2021, 2023, 2024.
Yeah. Going back to that moment specifically, I think that year's a wash. We were, I think, 1-6 at that point and lost to West Jenny. That was the end of our season. But the way I saw that, the pick 6 was all right, there's hope for next year. There's the one thing that you needed to see to be all right, next year could be better. And it was. And when it comes to actually winning, I wish it happened when I was there. But I'm proud of the guys. I like to think, I don't like to think. I was a mentor to some of them. I helped tour them around the school, get them there. So I like to think I take some part in that.
Well, it is a brotherhood.
Exactly. But yeah, I couldn't be happier for the guys. It's awesome to see them. I was a senior when they were freshmen for most of them. And to see them have that success, both as a team and then personally, getting the offers going to play Division I football, it's pretty rewarding. Personally for me, it's all right, that's really cool. Gratifying is probably the way to put it.
Casey Brown. Thoughts?
Coach Brown. I love him. I was just with him yesterday and Monday. I went to the practices and gave him a big hug. He's a phenomenal coach and an even better person.
What is that thing about him that will always stay with you? If everyone has a piece of your heart that you allow to have a piece of your heart, what piece does he have? What is the Coach Brown connection for you that you'll always keep?
the way he treats people, how he loves hard, and he treats everyone the same exact way, no matter who you are, no matter how good you are, how bad you are, and he wants to get the best out of you as an individual, maybe not even as a player, but as a person on the team. He understands high school football. As much as it is cool winning games, it's about developing young men to become adults and like becoming like the highest character members of society.
He gave me his word on something. I said, I've been here for now 2 championships, 2021, 2023. I said last year, or before last year, I said, if you win again, like I said, at what point do I get a ring?
Mm-hmm.
He said, if we win, our third one, like we win it, we got you.
That's awesome. That's pretty sweet.
So, and Tortora is on the side.
That's pretty awesome.
They put DT where they put head coach for Casey. And so this is my official state title ring.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty sweet.
So, Casey, now you got to get him one.
Yeah. I wish I had one.
Let's play some rapid fire.
Okay.
You get to ask me the first question. Just
any question?
Anything in the world, any topic.
Who, if you could be a fan of any other NFL team, who would it be and why?
If I could be a fan of any other NFL team than my Jaguars, who would I be a fan of?
And no Bills, too.
And no Bills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take
I would say, well, the Cowboys I do have love for, so I'm going to pick a team that I have no connection to. So I would pick probably, there's a couple. Probably Baltimore or Washington.
Okay.
Washington, because I just really believe in Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Baltimore, because I feel like I was the only person that believed in Lamar Jackson that was willing to say it on the air when he got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he would be a quarterback, like a successful. I thought he would be a good quarterback in the NFL, that he is an NFL quarterback, and crickets. And then he threw 5 touchdown passes, and then what somebody in the media said, how does it feel? And he said, pretty darn good for a running back.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, probably Baltimore or Washington.
Okay.
My question back to you, Jack. I have my own sundae at Carvel DeWitt, and I have my own sandwich at Mother's Cupboard. If we made a Jack Szatkowski meal, what would be on the plate and why?
Oh, I mean, it's just, it's not even about like a special order. It's just a lot. I would be a spicy sandwich, 4-count strip, a medium fry, a medium mac and cheese, and a diet lemonade.
A diet lemonade and a 4-count shrimp?
4-count strip.
Oh, strip, you said. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just throwing a ton on the plate.
Yeah. I'm just getting a lot of food.
Yeah. When I go to Chick-fil-A, it's like a party.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want a sandwich.
Yep.
I want fries. I want the nuggets.
Yes.
And I mean, if I can't get the peppermint chip shake, it's always a Coke Zero.
Yep.
That's where I go. You get the diet lemonade.
Yeah, I love
No
diet
one's ever
lemonade.
No one's ever said that to me.
The diet lemonade's really good. I really enjoy it. The lemonade itself is really good. I just feel like I get like sugar crashes from it after, so I like the diet lemonade more. It tastes the exact same.
Okay. All right. What's your next question for me?
Man, I'm not good at these rapid fire questions. Let me think. Favorite memory with my dad?
Probably the first one.
Okay.
So I don't even think he knows this. So if you're watching, Jimmer, but he knows I wanted a Chick-fil-A for a million years, and I really wanted to have one in my community.
Mm-hmm.
And when they said it was coming, I didn't believe it. And then I saw the building getting built, and the name wasn't on it yet, and I still didn't believe it. And I was talking to Papa Joe and Mary, I call my other parents, my aunt and uncle down in St. Augustine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I got to figure out, like, I have to meet this person. He's going to get bombarded. Everybody's going to want to work with him. I have to meet him. And I did all this research, and I found him on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found him on LinkedIn, I sent him a message. And then I think I sent him another one. He got back to me, and we met in the trailer on the other side of the parking lot. And I walked in and I had a Jaguars beanie on. And he said, "You're going to walk in here and say you want to do business with me with that hat on?" And I said, "Yeah." And we will work together. And I remember we sat in the back room and I talked to him about my plan and my ideas. And while we were talking, I just kind of like zoned out into just like, I was just listening to him as a human. It was like not even, it was just like, I have to, it went from I want to work with Chick-fil-A to I have to work with this guy.
Yeah.
I can't let it not happen because we're too aligned. And I just remember walking out of there saying, "We will work together."
Yeah.
And him saying to me, "In that hat?" And I said, "Yes." And he's just always brought out the best. He can look at me and he can shoot right to my heart.
Yeah.
And so I think every moment with him is a moment of like calling me to be completely honest with myself.
Yeah.
And there's times where, like, I was in a relationship, I was dating someone, he sat with me outside Chick-fil-A Clay and he looked at me and didn't say a word. And that one look was like, you know better, you do better, you deserve better. And he didn't even have to speak.
Yeah.
So I think my best moments with Jimmer is the fact that, like, he really doesn't have to even say anything.
No, yeah, totally.
My question back to you, what's your favorite memory with your dad? You have so many.
The first drive out to Notre Dame together. And this is, by the way, when I was in 6th grade and I went to Notre Dame football camp.
This wasn't you going to school. This was like way back.
This is way back in the day. I just remember because we got lost. It was when you had to use MapQuests. And we had printed it out, but there was construction, so like it was all messed up. And we were just like stranded in rural Indiana for like an hour and a half. And it was midnight at this point, so it was just like it was just like comical. And so like we were just laughing through it, and it's probably my fondest memory with my dad.
How did you end up finding Notre Dame eventually?
We went to a gas station. There was a homeless man who actually gave us perfect directions. So to this day, we thank that homeless man.
Yeah, that homeless man probably had some Jesus through his veins.
100%.
What's your last question?
Super Bowl matchup and score. Winner.
Okay, this year?
Yes.
I've been saying Washington Buffalo.
Okay.
And the score is 27-23. And I want Buffalo to do it.
Yeah.
I feel this is like, even though I'm not like Buffalo's not my first team, I'm such an enthusiast because of all of you.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm surrounded by Buffalo fans, and I feel like I can't say that they'll win because they'll lose. So I have to be like 27-23. This is what I think.
Exactly.
Let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
I want to see them win one, but I have one caveat that I say to God. I have to be sitting next to your dad.
Oh my gosh.
Like I have to be with your dad.
That's pretty awesome.
And so if and when they make it to the Super Bowl, like whatever caravan the Szatkowskis have, I have to be on that caravan because I can't watch from home and then call and say, "Hey Betty, can we do a FaceTime or something?" I don't want to do that. I have to physically be there.
100%.
My question back to you, since you and I have connected in the Notre Dame world, and Riley Leonard is a friend. Steve Angeli's here.
Yeah.
What is that doing for you right now?
I think it's pretty cool. Angeli's a great dude. I was never like personally friends with him when he was at Notre Dame, but I'd see him around campus and he was always a super stand-up guy. So the fact that he made it to the hometown is really cool. I wish he was starting here because that'd be, first off, a great storyline for when they play Notre Dame this fall. And I think he just deserves to be a starting quarterback somewhere. So praying, hoping that he gets that spot and ability to do that because I know he'll succeed when the opportunity is presented to him.
I have had so many Notre Dame fans reach out to me through the videos that I've done with my interview with Steve Angeli. Every person, I don't think there was like one person that said like a bad thing about him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
And they're all saying, "We hope you go 11-1. We hope you lose when you play us."
Exactly.
But there's like so much love. Is there a... Because some people, I saw this with a couple people had written this, but it was his nickname Peanut Butter and Jelly?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it wasn't like used a ton, but like people definitely said that, and it was like when you go to like a stadium and like anyone like hits you, people do like the Steve. That was a big one too.
Okay.
But people would say peanut butter and jelly. It was mostly the reporters that would say that because it just rolled off the tongue super well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on him? He's a Colt now.
Yeah, he's tough as it gets. I'm pretty sure he had a good performance last night in the preseason game, if I'm not mistaken.
Anthony Richardson went out, so
yeah, so he was in for brutal. He was in for quite a bit though. I mean, yeah, he's like Josh Allen, like just that kind of tough guy that you want in your locker room, that drives your team the right way. I hope the best for him. If he somehow gets a chance to start anywhere, I think it'd be so cool. I don't think that would happen, but he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He was fun to watch, for sure.
So you went to Notre Dame games?
Yes.
All the time?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Notre Dame football moment for you?
Yes. This past year when I was at the game in Miami that we played Penn State at the Orange Bowl, I was in like the third row of the student section, which was right at the end zone where Jeremiah Love had his 1-yard touchdown. That was like, he basically had 5 people like trying to drag him down, and it was right in front of me. And I thought it was one of the craziest displays of athleticism I've ever seen, literally dragging people into the end zone with him. Probably that play. That was the most like impressed I've been watching a football player do anything. It's a 1-yard touchdown, which is pretty crazy.
And I also thought it was cool when I was at the national championship and I texted you and you're like, yeah, Mom and I are here.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but what was it like being there with your mom for the championship game and knowing that the historic first 12-team playoff that'll never happen again, that you were not only there, but you were there with your mom and Notre Dame was there?
So cool. Yeah, that was awesome. We almost came back at the end there too. Like they gave us hope at the end. But it was so cool. I mean, there's no other way to put it other than it rocked. It was
amazing.
It was amazing. Notre Dame was in the national championship my senior year of college. That's pretty damn cool. And it was everything leading up to it too. Like I was at the previous 3 playoff games too, so it all led to that, which was so cool. And I was with my buddies too, because we all drove down for the game. Just because how could you not be there for the national championship? So yeah, the game, I wish it went better, but it was also just the experiences around the game too, like the leading up to it, after it, and still being with everyone.
Yeah,
it was definitely like a obviously we still had a full semester, but like a way to wrap up senior year, let's say, at least like football. Yeah, so it was pretty awesome.
How would you describe South Bend to someone who's never been there?
It wouldn't be a town if Notre Dame wasn't there, but that's what makes it so special. Just because it is small. It like you could rename South Bend like Notre Dame, the city, like that's how ingrained it is there. Every single I mean, it's just good Midwestern people out there. It gets as cold out there as it gets here. Maybe a bit less snow, lucky them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just good people out there.
Good people, good football. We'll see what happens this season. And Angeli now in Central New York. We will take a step aside inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, but not before I say thank you.
Thanks
for my little brother here. Jack Szatkowski, and a U.S. Marine Corps future for you and everything that is to come. We're very excited about this and definitely always praying for you and your safety.
Thank you.
We'll take a step aside inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. We'll be back to wrap up Wake Up Call right after this.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpazpopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpazpopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Szatkowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcast centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they're always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvelange, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. You will find GG Cards and Breaks open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 5. There's nothing like GG Cards and Breaks, the only place that I know that has every NFL, every NBA, and every MLB team with their own box, so you can be a fan of any one of those 30 Major League Baseball franchises, 30 NBA franchises, 32 NFL franchises, and you will find your team there on the back wall, and you can check that out. They have new releases. They have their boxes and their packs to buy from. They have ones that are a few years back. They have the ones that are right now. So you can get, you can go in there, find something from 2020, 2021, 2024, and so on and so forth. And I appreciate everything they have in their singles, their cases. They have those high-end cards that are going to, be very rare, tough ones to find. And then you have those cards where, you can, if you're, spending and you want to just kind of get into it and get a feel for it, maybe you find an autograph of your favorite player and you can go ahead and grab one of those cards when it comes out before they even get good, right? So you never know what you're going to find at GG Cards and Breaks. All different cards, all different teams, all different sports, and Disney Lorcana as well as Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, and Pokemon. It's all at GG Cards and Breaks, and the supplies are there to protect your cards and travel safely with them. Head there today, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, where you can be a big kid every single week. Big time shout out to Chick-fil-A DeWitt, also known as Chick-fil-A Bridge in Erie. Why? Because it's right there by the corner of Bridge Street and Erie Boulevard. Very easy to find because it is a massive brown brick building. And yesterday, they did well. They were busy. You know that downtime in the middle of the day between lunch and dinner? There was still a ton of people in that drive-thru, and there was a bunch of people inside. I went in there on opening day. I know that many of you here in Central and Upstate New York have gone out to Chick-fil-A because I saw a bunch of you that were out there at Chick-fil-A DeWitt. So thank you for giving them such a great opening day. Let's keep opening weekend rolling strong here for Chick-fil-A DeWitt. Megan Sorber and her crew, we look forward to seeing you out there right on the corner of Bridge and Erie. Chick-fil-A DeWitt. Celebrate opening weekend with them by heading over there today. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, I want to thank you for being here with us inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios. And, of course, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', giving you the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. Top dog of the week, where we got to honor, and he didn't know about it, Jack Szatkowski from K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, the place to bring your dog for daycare any day of the week and all throughout the year. For more information, call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110. And of course, you can also get more information by going to K-9 Kamp.com. That's K-9 Kamp.com. Top Dog of the Week. And of course, Jack Szatkowski, our Top Dog of the Week, here with us this morning on the heels of him graduating from the U.S. Marine Corps Officer Candidacy School. For everybody that's been here with us on Wake Up Call, you know we are live Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. Once the shows go live, they jump into the archives. You'll find us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, as well as Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. So make sure that you take some time and find us on any one of these outlets. And of course, save us, follow us on any one of these channels, and make sure to subscribe on any one of these avenues by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Big time thanks to our North Carolinian listeners and viewers, everyone that has been with us here from the great state of North Carolina. And of course, down there in Southern Pines, North Carolina, you have the Brooklyn Pickle, 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Make sure you head over there. Let them know the DT sent you, and we appreciate you heading out to the Brooklyn Pickle right by Pinehurst Golf Course. And many thanks to the incredible team that we've had the opportunity to work with here in Central and Upstate New York. A fantastic team. Great Lakes Honda City, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Pizza Man, K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare, Brian's Landing, Mother's Cupboard, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, K-9 Campground Dog Boarding, Avicoli's, and Chick-fil-A DeWitt, as well as being the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. You'll find the Bobcats in the Bobcat Buzz, including our exclusive that we aired this week with them partnering with Game Point Sports to now utilize them as a training and practice facility for men's and women's basketball. An awesome facility right by K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare and K-9 Campground Dog Boarding in East Syracuse off of Bridge Street, so close to Chick-fil-A DeWitt as well. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats, student athletes, coaches, administration, and alum call Wake Up Call home, and you can find all of our specials by going to youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Bryan and Stratton playlist, which is entitled BSC Syracuse. You'll also find the Bobcats on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Binghamton University Bearcats. You'll find Binghamton every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time during Bearcat Time, with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni joining me throughout the year. Their stories are on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Binghamton playlist on our YouTube channel. The Bearcats are also on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to BinghamtonBearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, I would like to thank once again Jack Szatkowski for being a part of the show. I'd like to thank Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week, Chick-fil-A Cicero for lead, K-9 Kamp Dog Daycare for Top Dog of the Week, and of course, all of you for being with us. I'll be out at camp today by the glory of God and the blessing of God. I'll be at Syracuse Football Camp, and I will also be out and doing some good things with Chick-fil-A Cicero, as we always try to do with the light between us. Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. For now, from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, I say to you, trust the Lord. This world may seem hard, difficult, and insurmountable. Nothing has ever defeated God, and nothing will. Trust in the Lord Trust in yourself. Be good to yourself. Speak to yourself well. Kind mind and a kind heart. And be good to others. God bless. No stress. Do your best. Let's get it together. Amen.